Hey, so the following video is a little different than the normal thing I do on this channel. It is a state of the game talk with another YouTuber that I've known for almost 4 years now. Me and him have played multiple games with each other, seen the rise and fall of games per se. And, we have a lot of informed opinions, I would say, about this game so far at the moment. So we want to talk kind of state of the game as well as answer the question, is Marvel Future Revolution dying or is it dead on arrival? I've seen this comic creep up a few times now because I think people are starting to hit in-game. So we're going to break all of that down for you in this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in more state of the game, informative talking type of content as opposed to just guides. Love you all. Thanks for your support. Let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm brought in part by my good fan, and I mean fan instead of friend because it's Cubs fan Han, who's also a friend. And
it should be Cubs fan of microtransactions and you. And
there it is.
Yeah,
we'll crunch them all together into one, I don't know, hoagie wet sandwich. But me and Cubs fan go a minute back. For the people that don't know, we've known each other, 3 years now? Maybe going on 4.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Ever since you were just getting started out.
Yeah.
In Galaxy of Heroes, at least.
That's correct. Yeah, back in the day, I was just getting started in Galaxy Heroes. I watched Cubs fan before I made my first YouTube video, to give you an idea. So we know each other for a minute now. And we have been through a few different mobile games, I would say.
Yeah.
So in our time here, we've seen games come and go. I mean, I'd say that's probably fair to say, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Come and go, and a lot of those games are still here. But how much retention have they maintained with their audiences?
Yeah, maybe their audience came and went, and that's kind of the point that we wanted to talk about today and discuss a little bit, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are, well, it's two things. One of which is there's people out there that haven't started the game yet and are wanting to know, is this a game I should remotely be interested in? Is it going to be going, down the tubes as time goes on? What's its current state of the game, etc.? I haven't really done a state of the game type of talk yet. I haven't really said my opinion on where I think the game is going to be in 5 years, etc., and my personal opinion on the longevity and audience retention of the game. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, to give you guys a little bit of the topic here. And I thought I'd bring Cubs on because I think we feel fairly similar about this one, if I believe so, which is, well, I'll kind of say my opinion on it at least.
I might be a little more optimistic than you, I think, but I mean, we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Fair enough. So here's how I feel about it. I feel about that in Omega Flight. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the Omega Flight server, which was the beta server. It's probably the little bit of history that we have to try to give us a little bit of evidence. And what I always say is, in the beginning, there was an absolute massive rush of both excitement, players promoting the game, like going out of their way to be how excited they are about the game. You can even see this in my own videos, being excited super much in the beginning. Obviously, lots of spinning, etc. And it was about at the 30 to 40 day mark, I believe, when we started to see some of the complaints creeping in because people started to hit in-game. Now, back in the day, and I'm sure you could attest to this too, it was a little bit easier to hit what we would consider in-game because they've changed some of the progression, how the questing system works. The progression is a little bit slower now. You can't delete and repeat alts to get free potential, and there were some other kind of tricks you could do to hit the in-game, and now they've paced it out a little bit more. So as far as I see it, in the terms of Netmarble and what they've done with their other games, I think we're safe for at least a good couple years, I would think, at a minimum. The game seems high quality, and it's Marvel IP. I mean, for the people that are saying the game is going to die or the game is dying already, etc., what would you have to say to that?
I mean, give it longer than a month, right? I mean, we've got obviously the people who've been playing since pre-launch, the beta launch, IP or VPN up to Canada. That crowd have been playing for longer, but we're still inside of a month of the actual official launch of this game right now. And so, yeah, I mean, are we going to get to a point where we feel that excitement of the launch kind of dip down a little bit? Absolutely. And I think that might be what people are observing right now is there was all this hype and now we're kind of starting to see things normalize and the game's going to hit its stride and get to a place where we actually see it land more long term. And so I think for me, any kind of doomsday conversation of, oh, the end game's shit, or, I don't know what's going to happen with the longevity of the game. To me, I'm very much wait and see. Because we're gonna see a natural leveling of the.
We already
excitement.
have a new hero coming out. It's literally launched.
Yeah.
They've already announced a new hero and a new game mode. So we know there's more coming. I will agree with one point to the people that are slightly pessimistic, which is, and we've already said this on your video. So if you didn't know, we've done a video over on Cubs' channel. It's gonna be right on the top of the pin comic. Super easy to find. Click, go watch it, sub to him. All that's all that plug stuff. Okay, but it's in my. Fuck, I totally forgot what we were saying. I forgot what I was saying. Brain fart. The one point I'll agree with the pessimist is that because you get to in-game and hit level 100 and the story ends and you go back and you do it on the other characters, it seems like the game is basically borderline just repetitive. Like all you're doing is the story mission over and over and over again. All you're doing is the blitzes over and over and over again. And to that, here's my counterpoint to that argument. I can't disagree with it because it's true. Okay, but the fun part doesn't come from listening to the voice lines 5 times. The first time I listened to it, I enjoyed the story. The second time, I'm enjoying the characters and I'm trying to do a build or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I like Spider-Man. I want to see how Storm reacts in the position that I was in with my Spider-Man or whatever. I want to see how she does the blitzes. I want to see how she does the Omega War I'm doing, etc. And I have fun with the different characters. And it seems to me, in terms of audience retention, they're going to keep it by adding more characters into the game, would be my guess.
Yeah, and so it's actually really interesting. I haven't seen a game exactly like this before, so I'm really curious to see how they're going to handle new characters to the game. And once Magic hits, I think we'll see a big indicator for that because we got 8 characters at launch. We're already seeing another character analysis coming out soon. A year from now, how many new characters are we going to have? Are we going to have 2 or 3? Probably 4 or 5, maybe. I mean, how far is that going to go? And are they really going to put us through a position where every time they launch a new character, they're going to expect us to play through the entire campaign again and have it be the same thing? I think inevitably, if I'm Netmarble, there's got to be some uniqueness to that experience when you drop the new characters. Maybe some continuation. I think something that would be really great that they can absolutely manage, I think, with the premise that they've put together with the story, is that maybe they have a round of characters where, so we've got our first 8, and now we're going to have a Magic, and this is going to be part of a group of maybe 4 characters, and their campaign is actually going to be a continuation of the story that continues to progress. So there's more interest in playing the game beyond, all right, here's a new character, I'm just going to slog through auto as much of the story as I can because I already know what happens. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It kind of makes me open up to the comment that I see a lot, which is, do you think they're going to bring a villain campaign at some point?
Please!
I know.
They have to do that.
You got to.
Okay.
If they don't do that, then it's just money on the table, man. You're just leaving it.
Yeah, you would think, right? I mean, there's so many good villains that people would love to play. But then you're starting to get into like let's do a City of Heroes versus City of Villains. Did you, not to get way off topic, but I gotta ask you, did you ever play City of Heroes, City of Villains way back in the day, an old MMO?
Yeah, I played it. I don't remember a lot about it, but yeah, it's been a while.
I didn't play it that much either, but I do remember you could design your heroes and there was a customization level that was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
In this game, I know they say there's a billion levels of customization and all that. And I don't really run into other people with the same outfit too often, but you see a lot of the same people wearing the same, that seem to pick the same looks in this. Have you noticed that? You get a lot of
it's pretty obvious. Yeah. There's a couple of costumes that people gravitate towards more than others. Like the new Star, I love the new Stark City look for Iron Man, for example. I see that one around a lot.
Is actually a pretty good look because that's kind of a classic Iron Man suit.
It's not the best regional costume to equip, but the look of it is just filthy, I think.
Oh no, a follower popped up right on top of your head right there.
Oh, hi. Thanks for
Hello,
following.
yeah, I get this. That
Micro.
guy just got the biggest free shout out in this video ever.
I should have tried to position my head so your mustache line with mine. I've always wanted a big orange mustache, just like yours.
I trimmed it again, so it's going to take a minute to come
Why'd you
back.
do that?
Well, I was trying to keep it even, I was trying to keep it kind of centered, and it felt like it was getting a little off.
You know what I should do is I should take my hair down because you and me are kind of in a similar place right now.
I noticed that in your recent video. You're starting to get a little bit of the mane there, the lion's mane, as they call it.
We're getting there. I am lacking the color though. I'm a little disappointed.
Well, it'll come with age. You get that nice Witcher silver hair look going on.
Oh, that'd be sick.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming on here and discussing audience retention. Just to kind of take the point back home, I think we kind of agree. I mean, we got at least a good couple years out of this. We got new characters, new game mode, invasions been released already. I feel optimistic. I don't feel pessimistic yet. I'll say it's pay to win. We all agree on that. The expenses are way too much.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to see them address a way to make the PvP parts of this game more balanced. If you're playing this game as a free-to-play player right now, there's very little drive to play the PvP game modes.
Yeah.
You just get wrecked. I mean, especially Omega Wars. It's like, why am I even playing this game if I'm not? You just go in and lose and collect your rewards. And I think that's a problem. Something else I do want to add before we close here, though, in reference to the end game. A lot of people, I see this in a lot of mobile games. I saw this when Galaxy of Heroes launched. I saw this when Marvel Strike Force launched. I definitely saw this in Raid. I saw this when the Avengers game launched for the AAA Avengers game. Basically, every game I've seen launch, one of the first questions I see people ask is, how are they going to manage the end game? Right. And this is a very important consideration, but it's also one that we're just not going to really see the fruits of how the end game is managed until the game has been out for 6 months to a year, in my perspective, because you're not going to have enough people hitting the end game yet. I mean, for you, Micro, you're wailing on the game, right? And you're very much so at the tippy top of the tip of the spear.
I used to be
of the player.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you've kind of calmed down, but someone like me, I've been playing this game every single day. I love the game. I'd play it for probably 2-3 hours a day right now. I'm not spending much money. I still haven't hit my first level 100 character, right? And so when the end game becomes the biggest concern is, I think, when the majority of the player base is really hitting that end game. If we just have a small group of people who are really truly experiencing the end game, then that we're not going to really understand how the end game sits with everybody. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Plus, another point that kind of I think goes with that one is a lot of the game is getting too in-game. I mean, once you get to the game and you have your character fully built, it's like, okay, you did it. You conquered literally everything, and now your character is fully built. Go see if your fully built character is better than the other person's fully built character. That's basically what they're saying the in-game is. So as free to play, your in-game is basically trying to keep up with the people that are stronger than you. I mean, that's your gameplay experience. Unless you want to make it basically a single player game and just chill and do PvE stuff. I'm working on a PvE Spider-Man build on the Omega Flight beta server where I do well, just because I think, that's not what Spider-Man's for, but I think it'd be fun, so that's what I'm doing. And so you can make the game what you want out of it, and but I think we're pretty much on the same point here, where that's the in-game's going to be pay-to-win PvP, and hopefully we get at some point we get continuation of content. We know we're getting Invasion, so I think that we're getting new game mode already. I'm going to be like, okay, cool. I'm going to chill and be cool with how the game's going. See how the new game mode is, and then kind of readjust and see how I'm feeling for the next couple of years.
I would rank right now, if I were to rank where I'm feeling about the longevity of this game, I have seen very little right now that makes me nervous. Right now, does that mean that I could take to Vegas right now that this game is going to be humming in 2 years? No, I mean you just don't know. But right now, I think that they are managing this thing, all things considered, pretty dang well to hold my interest and give me confidence that this is a game that I can invest a lot of time into.
Yeah, I feel you there. And to give people a little bit of actual data behind it, so the YouTube channel for me, is seeing about 60 to 70% of the views that it saw on the same launch week, including the other videos with their traction and Google performance and the website data and all that. So to people, as far as the actual data goes, as far as interaction and people looking and all that, that's how the numbers are looking from our side of things. I'm sure you're seeing probably pretty much the similar stuff as well.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's to be expected, I think, because we've got the launch, the excitement, the rush, and then things will level out. And so if it's like, if it's a steady decline, if, you know, it's like we peaked at launch and we're going down, then yeah, I mean, 6 months from now that gets concerning, and the game might be in a bad place. But what you're probably going to see is the spike, the level out, and then the slow climb.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing here as far as the YouTube data goes. Normally, the Google and YouTube data mirrors pretty closely the actual audience retention from what I've seen with people, because people gotta look up for stuff.
It absolutely does. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. Go over the Cubs. Subscribe to Cubs. We'll have it in the pinned comment. We'll have the video there and his channel and all that stuff. Thanks for coming on for this little bit of turned into a little bit of a podcast chat almost, I think, about.
I enjoyed the chat.
Yeah.
Maybe we should podcast on this game. I don't know. We'll see what people think.
There we go. We do it. Next time we bring in Mobile Gamer, maybe Half-Sin, you make it a whole round table and we get the state of the game chat. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you want to see that. All right, everybody, we're out of here.